Even though I'm so incredibly tired, I try to hurry through Central Park Plaza. InVision detects my presence and floods me with ads of nearby vendors. Yes, it's yummy. You can be better off than you are. Don't wait to lose that weight. The rain is down to a drizzle. I enter a park and collapse on a bench. An ad helper tells me that I deserve a break. Imagine yourself on a Tahitian princess fantasy island getaway. I say, if only. But you can. Just relax. I tell the ad helper, I can't relax. Sure you can. You deserve a break. After all you've been through, go on, Vinny. Close your eyes. Just imagine setting out on the escape of a lifetime. I feel my eyelids drop and fight the drowsiness. I'm so tired. Cruise with me, Vinny, says the soothing voice of the ad helper. Flow and go with the sun-drenched princess. Can you feel her swaying under you? Yes. Better, isn't it? Yes. Now, tell me, Vinny, what do you see? I see myself at the railing, looking into the deepest blue-green water. Flying fish leaping. It isn't raining. In fact, there isn't a cloud in the sky. And the sun, oh, the sun. It's been such a long time. I think I'll lie down in that deck chair. And what do you look like? Asks the ad helper. I'm on vacation. Sunglasses, flowered Hawaiian shirt. I'm tan and healthy. I'm looking good. So you're relaxed? It's been such a long time. I could sleep forever, but I have to keep an eye out. The ad helper says, close your eyes and see with your cruising eyes. Open them wide. Tell me, Vinny, what do you see? They're lowering me in a dinghy. I'm rowing toward an island into a sweet, easy breeze. I step out on the beach and it's hot, but not hot like I'm used to. Not forever humid hot. It's dry hot, baking me clean kind of hot. And, asks the ad helper, there's shade and there's palms. And you're alone? No, there's someone over there leaning against the palm. And she's looking in my direction and I'm walking over to her. And how does she look? Obsidian in a white bikini. Now I'm right in front of her and we're touching. And she is, other than the breeze, she's not moving a hair. And I press against her back against the palm. And I'm eye to eye close to her and she's looking right into me. And how do you feel now, Vinny? Oh, man. And how does she feel? I'm afraid she's just a dream. Go on. Touch her. You can touch her. I do when she's soft and cool. And I tell her, you're cool. And she says, no, I'm not cool. And I say, you're not? And she says, no. And I say, cold? And she says, no, I'm more than cold, much more than that. And her, to look at her, the way she's looking right through me. Yes, Vinny? Like she's frozen, but soft frozen, frozen like a chocolate parfait. And she's, what? She's just waiting for me. For you to what? To get it right this time. But she's so impatient. Now she's slipping away from me. Wait! She's running into the sea, swimming away from me. I open my eyes just in time to see. There it is. I leap over the back of the park bench, slip and slide across the mud-drenched lawn, and press into the crowd on the sidewalk that's flowing like ants below the skyscrapers. All of a sudden, everyone gets snapped to the left, like somebody kicked the camera, and they all fall down. I'm looking up at the gunmetal sky. I must be on my back. Water is tumbling from the edge of the roof, 100 floors above me. Imagine that, a waterfall right here in the middle of the city. Perhaps it will put out the burning building. I raise up on an elbow. Look at all those people scattered hither and thither in the street. That man is trying to move. That man over there is not moving at all. And that woman, she's come completely apart. People look like they're screaming, but I can't hear a thing. They say change happens. One of the cyborgs is straddling me, one hand on its laser, another holding handcuffs. Its third hand reaching for my throat. The monster's head is enveloped in smoke. It bends over, 3 hands on knees. Now it's down on the ground on all 7, coughing. I crawl through the noxious cloud into the burning building. I can't see, but my hearing's coming back. Fire crackling. A child is crying. A man yells, "Help!" Someone asks, "Who?" The man replies, "Me." A woman cries, "Me too." I stumble over a body and try to see the charred face. I can't tell if it's a man or a woman. I grab a leg and drag it away from the sound of the burning. I hear the monster hacking in the smoke. The body connected to the leg in my hand whimpers. I shush it, but it won't be shushed. There's a ceiling of flame above my head. I tell the leg, "I'm sorry," let it go, and crawl away from its crying. A man, already on fire, stumbles past me into a wall of conflagration, and I witness how one dies in a split second. I begin to move like a blind reptile, into this wall and that wall, until I find a hole that leads to the outside and the goodness of the rain. Nearby, the bounty hunter rubs its eyes with the back of 2 hands while shaking a flaming third hand like a misbehaving rag doll. I pull myself around the corner and begin to make my way back to the Motel 6. I step out of my shower and wrap myself in a towel. In the mirror, the circles under my eyes are darker. My whole face is darker, an unwell greenish darker. I bandage my elbow, dress, and go to my sister's room. I tell her, "Look, sis, I really need your help, and I was thinking maybe since, with the huge publicity you're getting with the miracle child and all, man, you must be giving a ton of interviews, right? Probably a book deal too, huh? Boy, they're bound to make a movie about you, don't you think? So, anyway, I was thinking, if I could just borrow a few bucks for this trip I need to take." My sister's face turns so hard. I hear myself crying, "Sis, I'm really hurting." Then I realize from her look that she is too. She lays into me, "You think I got money? Well, I'll tell you how much money I got, about as much money as a measly welfare check. That's how much money I got, and that's all I got. And I'll tell you another thing. This being pregnant with this way so special baby is not all it's cracked up to be, because one minute you're the miracle child's Madonna, and the next minute you're just a plain old pregnant lady that couldn't even scrounge up enough dough to hire a surrogate to carry her kid for her. And Al, with his stupid business going belly up, won't quit bitching and moaning about how everything is falling down around his neck, and why can't I help him more, as though I'm not double busy occupied with all this throwing up I got to do being pregnant, and now you're asking me for money?" Down in the command center, a distraught-looking Al leans back in his chair, fingering his chicken head pendant as he watches the duds in action across the wall displays. He tells me, "They've taken over the whole facility." We watch duds diagram strategic operations for cyber war, load weapons on virtual tanks and transports, fuel and target virtual missiles, and goose step in columns to the cadence of dud power, dud power. I tell Al, I sure hope those duds appreciate all you've done for them. And while I'm on the subject, I want you to know how much I appreciate all that you've done for me. I mean, without your help, locating ice, building the bunker, and even now, the use of the command center, and Sis, wow, all you've done for Sis. He sneers. Yeah, your sister. I tell him, I mean the way you changed her life, gave her confidence, direction, and meaning in her life. I sure did. Have you seen this? He asks and shows me the lockout video of the moms meeting in the breakfast room behind a pile of chairs, blockading the door. The walls are spray painted with slogans. Babies don't come cheap. Sick moms grow sick babies. No vacations, no kids. We benefit you, so how about our benefits? Moms hang tough. Miss America is telling the other moms, we're at the absolute bottom of the totem pole, even lower than duds. Duds have the balls to stand up and say enough is enough, and here we are getting rolled over like roadkill with these take it or leave it baby deals, expected to keep on popping quads, quints, sextups, and seppers. Sky's the limit. How many of you have been hit up for a 7-pack with a rush delivery? Raise your hands. So there you have it. And now, would you believe it? Now Al is asking for 8 per carry? Come on! This guy is walking all over us. So are we going to just lie down and take it? A mom raises her fist and yells, give me a better contract or give me death. I try to commiserate with Al. Man, talk about ungrateful. And after all you've done for them, and Sis too? Oh man, that's really tough. Hey Al, well, I want you to know I really feel for you. Oh man. And if there's ever anything I can do to help you. And while I'm on the subject of help, I think you should know I'm still having some serious problems myself. So I was wondering, do you think maybe you could, like a bro to me and all, as a family favor, could you loan me, say, $27,000? The albino exhales like it was his last living breath, turns his back, and climbs up the ladder, leaving the hatch open behind him with the rain draining into the command center. Water flows across the floor as the duds march across the screens. A news feature begins. Congressional update. A news thing says, the Ghost Congress gives dud suffrage a thumbs up with a squeaker vote of 5-4 in the House and 2-1 in the Senate. There's a split-screen view of both chambers now vacant, but for the auto vacuums making their way up and down the unoccupied aisles. On the wall displays of the chambers, 9 congresspersons and 3 senators are seen casting votes. The news thing says 426 congresspersons and 97 senators chimed in as present without actually voting one way or the other. So this watershed change in the election process was passed by a majority of just 2 votes. The news thing continues. I asked a sampling of non-voting legislators why they didn't actually vote on this landmark amendment. And one of the congressmen told me, ever since it's been raining, I've had such a terrible cold. A senator said, personally, I'm strictly neutral on the whole question, so whatever everybody else wants, that's fine with me. A congresswoman said, look, I knew a lot of people were going to be reading things into this vote, and I didn't want anyone to get the wrong impression of me. The legislators' comments are followed by a debate trail update. The moderator says, candidates take one last stab at winning the hearts and minds of millions of voters who may be scanned for the candidate they'd prefer to vote for if this wasn't just a survey. From the White House, President Stickman says, I just want to take this opportunity to confirm my confidence in the wisdom of you, the voters, and to let you know that I know that you know that voting is a sacred privilege. This has never been truer than with our revolutionary insta-polling poll-election process. As potential pollees, I know that you realize what your vote could mean if it were actually counted. Statistics generated by a sampling of your opinions of me and my opponent will soon determine the fate of the nation and perhaps the fate of the world. So, weigh your opinions carefully. The president continues, I stand for the spirit of eternal optimism. So, no matter what happens, I truly believe that things only get better. That's why I know I can count on you and why I'm absolutely confident that I will be talking to you from this office not only tomorrow, but for untold tomorrows to come. God bless you and good luck. The moderator says, I've never seen rain like this before. And look at candidate Hammerman still campaigning in the foulest of weather, leaning head-on into that gale. It's no wonder they call this ex-action hero Mr. Go-Get-'em. Hammerman's drenched shirt clings to his massive chest like liquid saran wrap as supporters press to get near. At his side, Stiletto waves and blows kisses, her rain-soaked dress revealing every nook and cranny of her more than ample frame. The crowd yells, Stick it to the stick, man! The news thing says, and the duds are really getting into this act too. A dud-marked avatar bear hugs the thigh of his bigger-than-life-size action hero. A dud girl screams, I love you, Hammy! The yelling rises to a crescendo as the dud crowd chants, Hammerman! Hammerman! He raises his arms like a power lifter and yells to the supporters, You people are so incredibly amazing! What more can I say? With the national anthem playing in the background, a news thing says, and the poll-election is off and running. Another news thing asks, and just how are our poll sample Mr. and Ms. Public actually voting in this election? A real-life woman baking cookies in her kitchen says, Actually, I like President Stickman. He has such a sunny disposition. A pollee with 2 lip rings says, As for this Prez, no nuts, no guts. I'd put my X on the big guy anytime. A man standing in front of an auto hauler says, Well, if we do have to go to war for oil, I'd certainly vote for the one who knows how to wring some necks. A grandmother standing in front of her grandchildren says, Why can't we have a president who will declare peace for a change? A young man on a basketball court shooting hoops says, Dump the wimp. A professor at a lectern says, Why don't they run some thinking people for a change? A drunk in a bar says, Frankly, I don't give a damn. A woman placing flowers on a grave says, This will all be in God's hands soon enough. It occurs to me that this could be my last chance for payback from my Hammerman, and I place a call to the debate moderator. Excuse me, I realize that the poll-election is already underway, but I'd like to ask Hammerman one more question if I might. Hammerman turns to the camera and greets me with a big smile. Hey, I know this guy, Vinny, what's up? Well, I was wondering, and I know this is an awkward time with so much going on, and you know, I would have much preferred a situation that was more private, but I'm in kind of a pinch, and seeing how I've done about as much for you as anyone in the world. Do you think I could maybe somehow borrow, say, $27,000? Have you been polled yet, Vinny? Hammerman replies. Not yet, but just as soon. I stop right there because I know Ham, and when his eyes go narrow like that, I know that's bad news in itself. He clears his throat and tells me, with millions of people watching us, Vinny, and you right on the verge of possibly being polled on how you might actually vote in this election if your vote were ever to be counted. Let me get this straight, Vinny. You're asking me for money? Yes. $27,000 would help out more than you can ever imagine. He leans toward one of his helpers and asks, what is the penalty for trying to sell your vote? I'm not up to what will happen next, so I switch him off and find myself watching a News Now update. A man wearing a black ski mask tells viewers, no matter how many people try to imitate me, believe me, there is only one Doom Man. Every day more imposters are taking credit for my hard work. If these fakes want credit for blowing things up, I have no problem with that, just as long as they actually blow up what they're taking credit for. But when it comes to stealing my thunder, that's theft, and that has got to stop. I'm putting you imposters on notice. Everything I blow up is mine. All mine. So once and for all of you copycat bombers out there, get this straight. There is only one Doom Man, and the one and only Doom Man, that man, is me. Now, to make this clear to one and all, victims and imitators alike, I'm about to undertake my most horrendous attack ever, like nothing ever seen before on the face of the earth. So, be warned, Doom Man is on the move. A news thing says, a string of explosions up and down the West Coast is raising concern because of the threat. President Stickman says, believe me, I am looking into this and I will leave no stone unturned. A close-up of Hammerman eclipses the president as he tells one and all, I got him. Back in the cave, glowing tracers inundate the subterranean battlefield as advancing commandos press an attack on masked insurgents taking cover behind stalactites and stalagmites. Fusillades of phosphorus grenades inundate the defenders. A burning defender charges the camera only to be cut in half by a laser beam. A group of masked men are shown kneeling, heads bowed, hands bound, their captors pointing rifles at the back of their necks. Victorious soldiers carry one masked insurgent bodily from the cave. A news thing asks the commanding officer, is that Doom Man? The officer asks, which Doom Man do you mean? The scene gives way to Hammerman as a news thing yells, yes, you got him, you got him. The rain-soaked hero candidate says, you bet I did.